Sivaye Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Sokkanada Venba. This is a new text that Lord Shiva has given for our thought process for the next 100 days. After completing the ninth Tirumurai for 1 year, right now Annamalayar has given us Sokkanada Venba as the next project. This particular introductory speech comes in to introduce this particular text and the author. In Saivam, the world of Saivism, we can't forget the name Jnana Sambandar. We all know Thiruஞான Sambandar, who gave us the first three Tirumurai, first, second, and the third Tirumurai. He came in almost in the sixth to seventh century to re-establish Saivism and to make sure Tamil gets a complete recovery, because there were a lot of issues during that time. Thiruஞான Sambandar came, revived Saivism and revived the beauty of Tamil. Even today, when we read his holy text, we will all know what kind of Tamil, the language command he had. The second Jnana Sambandar that we must always keep in mind is Mariñana Sambandar. He is one of the four saints. We call them as the Sandana Kuravar. Basically, we all know Meikantar. Meikantar's disciple was Arunandi Sivam. Arunandi Sivam's devotee, as in his next disciple, was Mariñana Sambandar. Mariñana Sambandar, as we all know, he did not do any particular text. He did not do a work in terms of books or whatever. But what he did was, he did Upatesham to his disciple Umapati Sivam, who contributed 8 Saiva Siddhanta texts. And it was like a buffet. It is like a buffet, rather. We don't know which soul needs the Saiva Siddhantam text in which format. So what he did was, as in Umapati Sivam, what he did was, he wrote 8 texts with the same concept but in different manner. When you talk about, even today, we all know different people like different ways of expressing. It's the same story, but certain people will want it in a form of comic, certain people will want it in terms of text, certain people want it in the form of audiobooks. Similar to that, Umapati Sivam also gave us a buffet. He wrote one Saiva Siddhanta book called as Potri Pagarodai, which is almost like singing. Not almost, it can be sung, by the way. Another one is something like we call it a Citrilakiam in Tamil, which is to talk about sending your heart towards Lord Shiva, which is our companion. So that is written as Nenjividathudu. Quite a lot of varieties he had given. And the person who was instrumental for this is Mariñana Sambandar. And the third Jnana Sambandar is, he's the guru who established Dharmapuram Adinam. He is the one who wrote this particular text, which is called as Sokkanada Venba, which is given to us by Annamalayar right now for our thoughts. Rather, we have to meditate on this. A small history or background about Guruñana Sambandar. He is from Madurai and from a place called as Srivilliputtur. His dad's name is Subramanya Pillai and his mom's name is Meenakshi Ammai. They were very much associated with Madurai temple. We call it as Meenakshi Sokkanada temple. The reason why he was named as Jnana Sambandar is because his dad, as in their parents, wanted their son to also follow the path of Thiruஞான Sambandar and establish Saivism and make sure that he is also contributing for the growth of Saivism as well as the growth of the souls in this world. With that longingness, with that particular aspiration, they named their son as Jnana Sambandar, who today we call him as Guru Jnana Sambandar, because he's the guru who is established one Adinam and he's the one guiding all of us as of now. When this small kid, around 5 years old, parents took him to see Meenakshi Sundareswarar. So all three of them went to the temple. After worship, after their daily pujas and all these, when they wanted to go back home, they wanted to return. At that point in time, the kids said, "Mom, Dad, you are the one who gave me this body. Worldly parents, I would like to wish farewell to you guys because I want to stay back in the temple because Meenakshi Sokanadar are my parents for the soul. I've seen my parents, my soul parents, so I'm going to stay back here and I'm going to bid farewell to the earthly bodily parents." So he bid farewell to the parents, and you have to imagine what kind of the maturity the parents had. I'm not sure if we would be doing this to our kid if our kid says this, or even anyone at this particular time, at this particular period of life, we would do that. But the parents were such a matured soul, so they realized their son's the state. They left him there and they went back. 5 years old kid, he was in the temple looking at people who were doing Shiv Puja on a daily basis. He started longing for doing Shiv Puja. All as a soul we have to do is long for it. Once we have that yearning, immediately Lord Shiva will come and make sure that he is giving us that particular, or basically making sure that we get what we want. This soul, called as Guru Jnana Sambandar, has already started yearning for getting Shiv Puja. So what he did was, as in Lord Shiva did was, in the night, in the dream, he came to Guru Jnana Sambandar and said, "Tomorrow morning, you go to the pond, the temple pond, in the Ishanya corner. You can just take a dip and I'll come to your hands." The kid was so excited. The next day morning, he went and took a dip in the waters. When he came out of the pond, he saw a beautiful box, and when he opened the box, Sokanadar was inside. Immediately, the kid wanted to get a guru so that he could get the Upadesham so that he can start with his puja. You see, this is the state of maturity that we should have. As of today, what we are asking is, he's only a human being. How does he have the quality to become my guru? How can I know that he is my guru? And you know how many questions we are asking about a guru? One thing we need to understand is, are we qualified to ask such questions? Never. Lord Shiva knows by whom, with the help of whom, and by what means he is going to give us the Upadesha. So he sends us the right guru in the right moment. So when Guru Jnana Sambandar went to Lord Shiva, Sokanadar, asking for a guru, immediately Lord Shiva said, "Okay, now you have to start your journey towards Thiru Arur." There, a person called as you will see Kamalanyana Pragasar, who will be your guru, who is going to guide you in this spiritual path. Immediately, Lord Shiva went into the dreams of Kamalanyana Pragasar, saying that he would be receiving a disciple as well. So, our Guru Jnana Sambandar started his journey. He visited various temples, and then he finally reached his destination, which is Kamalanyana Pragasar's place, called as Thiru Arur. At that particular time, Kamalanyana Pragasar also knew about this disciple, so he did all the necessary Upadesham, and he was giving all possible guidance and support to his disciple. One fine day in the night, when Kamalanyana Pragasar wanted to go back home after worshipping Tyagarajar, the person who usually holds the torch was fast asleep. So Guru Jnana Sambandar volunteered to do that work, do that task. So he was holding the torch and he was walking along with Guru. Once Guru reached his home, he just said, "Stop," and he went inside. Since Guru did not say leave, he only said stop, the disciple, who's Guru Jnana Sambandar, He did not want to go against his guru's words, so he was just standing still in the night. And because of Lord Shiva's grace, there was heavy rains in the night. But not a single drop of water fell onto Guru Jnana Sambandar. Guru Jnana Sambandar was standing still whole night holding on to that torch. The torch did not go off, and at the same time, there was no water on him. The next day, early in the morning, Guru Patni came out for making sure that the entrance is cleaned up and all this. When she came up, that is where she saw the disciple standing in this state. Immediately, she went and woke her husband up, saying that, see, your disciple is going through this kind of maturity. That is where the guru knew what level of maturity the disciple had, which is Guru Jnana Sambandar. So now it's time for the guru to bid farewell to his disciple. So what he did was he called Guru Jnana Sambandar and said, okay, now you have to go all the way to Dharmapuram, establish an adinam, and start giving upadesham to all the matured souls. Make sure that they are following the path of enlightenment. Disciple did not want to leave the guru, and he started crying, but at the same time he did not want to go against the words of the guru. End of the day, guru said, okay, if you would want to see me every Thursday, you can come down here and meet me. From that moment onwards, every Thursday, all the way from the Dharmapuram, not like nowadays, we don't have cars or vehicles back then, right? It was only like bullock carts or you have to walk. Guru Jnana Sambandar used to come and visit his guru on every Thursday, and then without fail until his. That's one thing that we are able to see from the history. How a guru should be, how a disciple should be, has been taught to us not as text or book, but as a way of life. So that is how Dharmapuram Adinam was established, and our Guru Jnana Sambandar started doing his Shiv Puja on a daily basis with the Shivlinga that was given to him by Sokkanadar himself. While he's doing his pujas every day, due to the overwhelming the way how the bliss was flowing in him, he was able to sing certain verses. Those verses have been consolidated into 8 books. And as of today, Dharmapuram Adinam has given these 8 books, and they have published these as well, which is a very great work. And out of it, out of the 8 books, we have already discussed one, which is called as Sivabhoga Saram. We have already gone through all the verses over there, but we did not do it in English back then. It was only in Tamil. If time permits, we will try to do that in English as well. And the second one is what we are going to go through right now, which is called as Sokkanada Venba. The third book is Mutti Nichayam. Fourth book is Tiripadartha Rubadi Tasakarya Agaval. Fifth book is Sodasakala Prasada Shatkam. Sixth book is Sokkanada Kalitturai. Seventh book, Jnana Pragasa Malai. And the finale, 8th book is Navamani Malai. In this today, Lord Shiva has given us the Sokkanada Venba to be taught on a daily basis, on like 1 verse per day. That is what Lord Shiva has given us as a guidance. This has got about 94 verses, but there are 7 other additional verses that has been included. So we will go through all one by Lord Shiva's grace. Each and every verse concludes with the word Sokkanada. That is why it is called as Sokkanada Venba. We won't be able to see any correlation between one verse to another, because it was all being sung on different circumstances in different times, and also different, basically when he was doing his Shiv Puja, that is where the verses came from. So there is nothing like a correlation between the verses, but trust me, each and every verse is it's basically it's something like a nectar, we have to say. It has been juiced up and given to us like a capsule. So we are going to start with the discussion of this on a daily basis. As I said, it is not a discussion. We have to meditate on each and every song on a daily basis. From tomorrow onwards, what we are going to do by Lord Shiva's grace, Annamalayar's grace, is we are going to talk about one verse on a daily basis. Early in the morning, we will be hearing Oduar Aya's song. He has sung all the songs beautifully for us. We are going to listen to that. And after that, whoever wants to talk about the verses, we will be posting all of those. If anyone volunteers to do it in other languages also, you are welcome to do that. And on a daily basis, we will go through one verse at a time to understand the meaning. And what we would wish to is meditate on one verse per day so that we can internalize it, not just the meaning but even because words and meanings are, it stays at a brain level, but we have to internalize the experience. Let's wish, let's pray Lord Shiva that he gives us that experience. And that's what we are going to talk about, or at least targeting to do for the next 100 days. With Lord Shiva's grace, I'm sure he will be able to give us at least 1% of the experience that we need to get. I would like to thank both Adinams, Thiruvavudurai Adinam as well as Dharmapuram Adinam, because their work is more than beyond words, beyond expressing in words. The way how they have until today, the way the work that they are doing to establish and make sure that Saivism is not compromised in any manner, we have to really really appreciate them. We need to be thankful and grateful for their work. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the current Guru Maha Sannidhanam as well as our Guru Mudalvar, who's basically Gurunyana Sambandar, for this wonderful work. And with that, I conclude my introduction talk. We will come back again on a daily basis, based on each and every verse on a daily basis. Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.